It's the Ladymakavelli, and this is the Well Actually podcast. And you're in for a ride, so stay tuned.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Well Actually podcast. I am your host, Toju. Thank you for joining us, however, you may be joining us. Thank you for listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and iHeart. And thank you to those watching on YouTube. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, your family, and other lovers of music. Welcome back to another edition of our Women in Afrobeat series, a series where we spotlight and highlight the contributions of the very talented women moving this genre forward. And we have another one of those talented women with us here today. She goes by Ladymakavelli. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I feel so good to be here today. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. So let's just start from the beginning, and that's usually the best place to start. How did you get your start in music as a career?
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I would say it started being a career when I started recording. But before then, I got discovered in Kwara State, Ilorin. Because then I was in SS1. I had a classmate that would come to the class with his music. So there was a void space in the beat. So I took that home and I would listen over and over. So eventually we went to a birthday and he was supposed to sing. But for some reason he was not doing what I just went on stage, grabbed the mic and I sang. And the next day I got a call that well we want to sign you and we need you to come to our studio somewhere in the lorry there. I got there and they were like, we have these three names. Would you like any of these names? And I was like, no, I don't like these names. They were like, okay, go home and come with three names and then we'll pick one. So I went back with some names and that was just it. And they were taking me everywhere in town and everybody in the city knew me. And I was just like a sensation overnight. That was what happened to me. That was how I started music.
Do you remember what those other names were?
Yes, yes. I think the first one I was D-Rex because my name my name is Dio. So I was like D-Rex. I came up with another one, Queen something, and then another but eventually there's a guy that we were working with, Iron G, he's a great guy, and he was like, I think I like Malina because your mom is Fulani and the vibe. I was like, okay. So we picked that one, we settled for that one, and before you know it, like 3 months, the whole city was like all about Malina, the girl, the girl, the girl. And I was like, wow, so that was how it started for me.
So, how did you go from Malina to Ladymakavelli?
Okay, so first of all, it has a lot to do with the sound because as Marlene, I felt like I had too many sounds. I would sound Afro EDM today, like rap tomorrow, and all of that. I just felt like I wasn't sitting into one sound. So I did a song and I made reference to Lady Machiavelli, and then everybody started calling me Lady Machiavelli, Lady Machiavelli everywhere I went to perform. They would introduce me as Lady Machiavelli everywhere. So I was thinking, okay, that's a cool name, right? Then what happened was someone trademarked Malina, someone I knew trademarked it, someone that believed I was going to blow trademarked the name. Yes. So I was like, man, I can't continue with a name that's already been trademarked. The person trademarked Malina, Malina Abdul, the different versions I would I would think about using. So what I did was I registered a company and I did that all that and I put Lady Machiavelli as a trademark on there. Then I announced it to people and said, okay, this is Lady Machiavelli.
Wow. Okay. I don't even know what to say to that part, but okay.
Weird, people weird.
Okay. So does that have anything to do with like your alter ego project? Because I noticed like that name was on there.
How did you dig out?
I mean,
That's just shocking to me for you to mention out idea. You're really good at this. Oh my god. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think if that was why I named that EP Alter Ego, because I felt like I'm Gemini. So every time I go to the studio, there's a new personality. So the songs were not the same. This one sounded like this person, this one. So people were like, that girl that sounds like Asha. No, that girl that sounds like Cynthia. That girl that sounds like this. So I was like, okay, what can I use to justify this harmony, in the project? So I was like, okay, alter ego. Let me just give it that title, alter ego. So I did that and I put it out. And I just knew that I had to find my sound after that project. I knew that it had to be done. So that's so good to hear you talk about Taigo.
Hey, I mean, I'm not just having you here to waste your time. Like I'm as invested in this series as you are. So
So
yeah. So you said you wanted to find your sound. Was it because of dissatisfaction in what you were producing then, or was like, or did you just want clarity?
yeah, it was chaos for me because I wasn't able to position myself. Like I didn't have a personality. For instance, I would be called for this show, and then I would feel like, oh, because of the setting of this show, let me perform this type of song. I'll go to this place. I want to do this kind of sound. In reality, I feel like it should not be like that. I'm supposed to be who I am in every show. Basically, if you invite, let's say, Burna Boy for a show, he's not going to try to sing like Asha in this show and try to sing like this person in this show. So it was very difficult for me every time I had to go on stage, every time I had to represent myself as an artist. I did not know what name to call myself. So I was like, oh no, I really need to get a sound, that has to represent me and my personality, who I am. Because people will be like, oh, you're such a good girl, Mama Africa today, the bad girl tomorrow, this person tomorrow. So it was chaos. And I was like, I had to do something about that. So that's just basically it.
Okay. So how would you describe your sound now?
Yeah, I would say my sound now is Ladymakavelli. And that's what they say about you finding your sound. Because I can define it as if you're being called to to be a part of a song, you sing from a place. Are you singing from a place of audacity? Are you singing from a place of vulnerability? Are you singing from a place of kindness or representing a particular thing? So I would call it Lady Machiavelli because it has a blend of many things, but most importantly, it represents it's close to what your podcast represents. Where the woman comes out and says, um, I can do this. It's not about, Bobo, I love you, I'm dying, I can, it's not that. It is basically, I'm going head to head with whoever, let's go. Like, so that's what I would say my sound is. Apart from being Afro fusion, I'll always have to speak Yoruba, speak whatever language I have to speak, show that it's African in the sound, in my lyrics. But apart from that, I feel like when I'm singing, I feel like a girl in a vintage car with a cigar, with bodyguards,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So I have to talk from that place every time. And when I'm performing, I have to be on that vibe too, like let people know, man, this person is here. So that is what I feel that is how I can describe the sound.
Okay. All right. That's very interesting. So I know you mentioned Asha a bit, and we've had a lot of artists on here who have mentioned her. But to you specifically, like who are some of the people that have inspired your sound?
Okay, I would say Lauren Hill. Definitely Asha, because I grew up listening to Asha thanks to my mom. She would play Asha every time, every time. So I used to listen to her and I just felt like this is genius. And then I saw her perform and then I was sold. Then there's a song she sang that has, have you ever heard of a dreamer girl? Oh my God, that song. I was in Lagos. I was suffering and then I heard that song and then I cried for hours and I was like, who is. So I love Asha. I love what Thames is doing. I love what Thames is doing. I feel like she's doing the kind of sound that does not box you in, put you in a space to always do lamba or say what people want to hear. Um, I would say I love the fact that Tiwa Savage is very open with her age. I love that. She might not know what she's doing for women, but she does. Sometimes I'm very sure there are people all around Africa that are like 18 and they're like, if Tiwa Savage can do it, I can do it. 20, Tiwa is doing, I can do it. 25, Tiwa is doing, and then they end up blowing at maybe 30. And it's because they are looking at Tiwa Savage. So those things are things I really love. But basically, Lauren Hill is someone I love so much. I love her stage presence, the way she carries herself. But basically, I love African artists, female artists, Yemi Alade, Angelique Kidjo, the new people, I wouldn't call them new, Arya Star, all this. I just, I'm a girl supporting girl kind of babe.
So can you walk us through your creative process, like from the time you have the concept of the song till the time the song is recorded?
Okay, I would like to take credit and say I'm some kind of musical genius, but my music has always been a possession for me. And what I mean by that is I get literally possessed. I can't say that this is the process I thought about it and I wrote it this way with me. It's never like that. And I think there are people in the world that would. I think I saw an interview by Michael Jackson that he said the same thing. He said, you're just used as a channel to deliver a message. So what happens to me basically is I listen to beats, lots of beats. I just keep scrolling through beats and then they don't just touch me. And then I hear something and then this I hear the sound at the back of my head, almost like a scream from the ancestors. It sounds funny, but that's a almost like a scream here. It's like human. When you're somewhere, you're hearing music from a distance, and then I have to hold on to that rope and keep climbing it, following the melody and listening like I'm literally mad. Like then I have to take my other phone and transmit that sound. Then when I transmit that sound, and it's another process to put in words, because now putting in words would have to be I have to search myself and like that's why I don't write love songs, because I feel like I have a greater purpose. And there are too many people doing that. There are too many women that will sing about love. My purpose is bigger than love songs. I know that because I'm never inspired to write love songs, even if I'm in love. So what happens when I want to write is sometimes I'm like, it is what I feel sometimes, you know. I'm like, what's my situation? Sometimes it's what other people feel. But sometimes those melodies come with words. So when I have those melodies, I record the yeah. Then when I'm listening, I hear the words inside the melodies. So it's quite deep for me. So when people say, "Oh," so if a person walks up to me, because I get that a lot, when man, your music is nice. I'm not like, it's a possession, basically, and it's been like that for almost all my songs. So I just all the English words. Okay, I definitely read a lot of books, but man, I can't take credit. So that's my own process. I open myself and allow myself to be used to birth the melodies and the words.
So what was the first song you ever recorded and how did it feel to hear yourself on a track?
The first song I ever recorded was written for me by the people that discovered me. There's a guy called Aaron G. He wrote a rap song for me. Malina too bad. Yeah. No, no, Malina, mini Malina, make you shake Katrina. So he wrote the song and it was like they were just holding me using handkerchiefs to clean my neck and treating me like a star and stuff like that. And I was so small. So they took me to the studio and that was when I knew that music is serious work, because I used to feel like I like music, but to record into the microphone is another thing entirely. It's an art of itself, you know. So I recorded and they were like, no, that's bad. You have to keep going. I kept going. I recorded like 10 to 15 times before they could get something that we can manage. And they were like, okay, we can manage this. Maybe you should go home. They were angry with me. Like they were really mad at me. Like, look at the girl that was spending time, because they are grown ups. So I went the next day. I got home. I cried. Then I went the next day without anybody there. Then I went to record the song. And then the producer was like calling them, ah, come on, she don't do am, she don't do am. Then everybody came and then they were like, hey, now you're talking, now you're talking. And that was like my first recording.
And do you remember the first time you heard yourself like on the radio or anything like that?
Yes, I heard myself on the radio in Ilorin. I was in a car. I took a taxi. And then I was going somewhere. When these people said they signed me, I did not know, what was attached to that. I felt like, we'll just keep doing stuff. Then I was going to Taiwo Road. I took a taxi from my house. And then I heard myself in the car. And then I was like, am I dreaming or is that me? Ah, I told the person that was sitting there, that's me. The person, you share one year. I said, yes, sir. Is that you? I was like, yes. That's nice. I go home. I was running all around the house. My mom was like, what was wrong with you? I said, I heard myself on the radio. She was like, yeah, that's nice. These people are trying then. And so I can remember feeling like the feeling is unexplainable actually, because, I guess it's like a form of high. Fame is definitely a form of high. So it was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling.
I can see how it can get to people's heads hearing yourself on the radio like that. Okay.
Yes, yes.
When you're in the studio, do you have any kind of rituals that you must observe when you're recording? Is there any specific item that has to be there, whether it's a specific type of drink, food, anything else, for you to get in that zone?
Yes. Right now I have to make sure my belly is full. That's what I've noticed. I have to make sure my belly is very full for me to project my voice. That's what they say about, being able to open. Some people, I've read that it's bad, but for me, that's what works for me. I can sing when I'm hungry, and then I sing better when I come alive in the nighttime. I sing better in the night. So that's two. Then before, when I was in Lagos, probably there was a time I'll be like, I had to have wine, I had to have this, but trust me, Stranger was recorded without any form of intoxication, any form of anything. And I've written crazier songs that Stranger. Even I am scared of the songs, and I did not. Yes, and I did not get high or take any wine or any kind of smoke or something. So I have to eat. I like being with the producer alone. I don't like it when too many people are around. Um, Most times I have to have the song I want to sing, because then I would have to listen to the melodies I told you earlier, and I don't want the producer to get bored or get tired. So I do all that process at home. But sometimes when I can freestyle. So if the producer says, I have this beat, I can just go with the flow, then bring it out or loop it and start writing to it. I'm very good with verses, but you see the hook and the chorus, it has to be inspired. So that's just it for me.
So, and like you mentioned a lot of parts of the creative process. Do you have a favorite part?
The favorite part for me, I think, is the most difficult part for me, but it's my best part, and that would be backing up the song with harmonies and melodies. Because I did not grow up. I only grew up to the call of prayer because I grew up
Mhm.
in Ilorin, and it influenced my range, right? But I don't know when you say sing on key C or D or E. So I have to listen. So the producer will be like, so me. Sometimes I'll say something else, but then I have to listen. But every time I listen and I'm able to record it, I feel so proud of myself. I'm like, yes, yeah. And then the producer will be like, yeah, nice. You really tried with that one. So it's the most difficult part for me, but it's the most fulfilling part of it because it's something that I'm doing by intuition, not by knowledge or pre understanding of what it is. So it's challenging, and I like things like that.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned before we started recording, you mentioned that you're Yoruba and Fulani.
Yeah,
So is there any part of your heritage that has influenced your sound in any way?
yes, it does. I think Yoruba has really been a savior for me in music. Yeah, because Yoruba is world, everybody, people in the world know that Yoruba has something to do with music. I don't know what it is, but it does gel with music. So now being an archive of all the stories and folklores and everything in Yoruba, it's a bonus for me because I write songs for people that don't speak Yoruba. And then they're like, please put Yoruba or hello, what's up? I need Yoruba in this part. Can you help me? Before you know it, you're getting royalties for that too. So it helps. So the Fulani part is good because I have a very good body. Now I'm just finding out because I'm eating good, you understand. So that part of it is good for me. It helps with my looks. The Fulani aspect of it really helps with my look, and my hair grows fast. So all those things are, you know, like the recipe to the Ladymakavelli.
So you mentioned before that you don't like singing love songs, that you feel
Mm,
like your purpose is much bigger than that. So I want you to sort of reconcile something for me, and maybe it's just my interpretation of the song,
yeah.
or maybe this is just like a way of two worlds colliding. A song of yours called "Warning," and the message the message behind that song, I felt
Yeah, we
like
can. You're too good at this. You're too good at this. I'm scared of you. This kind of be God. You did research.
I mean, wouldn't you expect me to?
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. 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 I'm
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. So this song "Warning," it sounded like somebody was in danger. Like that's the way I interpreted it. But it was so I wanted to find out like was that something personal to you, or was that like just borrowing from something,
No,
or what went into that song?
that was definitely personal. That was definitely personal. Yeah, that's one. Then secondly, if you listen, but I have it's not like I don't have love songs, but warning is like it's a love song, but it's a warning, not like the. And I also want to say that I can't say that I don't like to sing love songs. What I mean about love songs is relationship kind of love songs. Because when you think about Stranger, it has to do with self-love. When you think about a lot of songs I've done, like world love, it could be world love, but not particularly I miss you, I will die for you kind of love. Yeah. So for warning, I was seeing someone that was misbehaving, right? I was seeing someone the first day he was with his friends and they listened to the song. Immediately I stepped into the house. That was when they all said that this song is about this guy, right? I said, yes, I'm warning that guy. Tell him now because it's not funny. And we all laughed about it. But I was going through so much and nobody knew, right? In terms of people have this misconception about people that are Gemini, or if you don't believe in horoscope and stuff, they're actually people that are straightforward. They're actually people that you'll be with, and what they say is what they're doing. And I happen to be one of those people. So it's quite unfortunate that you meet a lot of people that are not straight, and it does hurt you more when you know that you're being straight 100%, right? So I wrote that song with that feeling. No, no, no. I did that song with my producer, Otino, right? So immediately I got to the studio, we started listening to that song. I said, no, yes, this song is exactly how I feel, right? Let's do it. So we just worked on that and yeah, yeah, it's a personal song. It's a very personal song.
Okay. Okay. So right now we're gonna take a quick break,
Okay.
and at this point we're gonna play a song from Lady Machiavelli called "Stranger," and
Mhm.
this is, I believe, your newest release.
Yes, that's my newest release.
Okay, and after that we'll be right back.
All right. I'll see you.
Talk about privacy, give me my agency. Talk about all the things I want to do. Put me on the sideline, I know my silence is prime time. A shadow, no need entrance like a landmine. A soldier for the front line, I am a flat line. If you talk about policy, what of autonomy? That is my epiphany. A set of serenity. No more cacophony. I go to look you for my ribbon, I be stranger, 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 stranger. If you cross me in a danger, danger, stranger.
All right, welcome back to the Well Actually podcast, and that was Stranger by Ladymakavelli. Take us through the creative process on that. Like, what went into creating that song? What was your state of mind when you even came up with the idea? Like, just take us through all of it.
Okay, so for Stranger, before I wrote Stranger, I wrote an album called Afroficial Intelligence. And the album had to do with a fusion of, I don't really want to say much about it, so someone else does not, you get. So I spoke with my little sister. Her name is Kautar Kadir. She's into copywriting, certified and all of that. And she's a genius too. That's how I consider her. So I was like, man, it's so difficult for me to wrap my head around how to create for this Afroficial Intelligence album. And why? There's some types of there's some the album has this heavy essence. Like I couldn't create for it. Like it would be better handled by people like Sony Music or people that have, I'm talking masquerades dancing in the airports in US, that kind of thing. And I was like, you can't do lesser than that for that album. So I spoke with my little sister and then she was like, you know what? Should I tell you the truth? You need to put this album aside. I said, why? She said, because I don't think you've gotten to that point where people will consider you Mama Africa, auntie vibes, that you can keep it for later. You have the songs. There's a reason why you can't handle it. Why don't you express how you feel right now? And let's work with the now. Because if you said Afroficial Intelligence, it's a futuristic album. Because before Afro will meet artificial intelligence, it will take a while. So you can do it then. But if you do it now, people might not be able to relate with it. So why don't you do how you feel right now? And then I was like, this is a tax for me. And then, okay, I was like, what do I do? Then I asked myself, how do I feel right now? And I just got to the UK and a lot of my friends from back home stopped talking to me because I came to the UK. And I know a lot of people in diaspora experienced that. The people that trademarked my name and all of that, those were people I considered friends. These were people I started out with, people I pictured like they would be in my future because I'm that kind of person. If I meet you and I'm feeling your vibe, I'll be thinking, oh, and if I blow now like this person will be right beside me. I'm that kind of person, right? So I had to stop that recently because I've always gotten disappointments from that. So I was like, how do I feel? And then coupled with the fact that when I got to the UK, I tried to fit into the industry, but it felt like I brought too much energy because my head is hot. I was coming from Lagos. And then people would just come and have their guitar and say, oh, baby. And then me, I would just come and be doing leg work. And then they're like, ooh, chill. And they're like, chill, man, chill. No. And then I'm like, that's what I know how to do. And then there people will be like, nice, nice, nice. But they don't want to really relate with you. And my accent, my Nigerian accent. And I was going through all that, even at work and everywhere. I was like, okay, how do I feel? I felt like, okay, I feel like a stranger, right? That was how I felt. So I went online and then no, the beat found me actually. The beat found me. And when I was scrolling through beats on YouTube, then I came about that beat. I just heard the first thing I heard, that thing I told you about hearing something. So when I heard that the first sample in the beginning of the beat sounded like those voices that from the other side that instruct me. So I was like, what is this? I just downloaded the beat. I put it on what's this? There's an app band lab because I have a producer that I was supposed to be working with all the time, and he was supposed to set that up. But unfortunately, I was ready to record because I had not recorded in a long time because it costs a lot to record here. It costs a lot. So I was like, I got equipment. One of my equipment had issues. I had to return it. So I was hungry to record, and then I just did like that sound I told you about. I recorded the sound. I was waiting for him to get back for 2 days. Then I was like, this beat. I posted the beat online Maybe I did a short freestyle and then it just bounced me and said, this beat is property of something, 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 something. I was like, what's this? I had to go back to YouTube. So when I went back to YouTube, it led me to the producer's website. And when I got to the producer's website, I knew I had to work with him because it seemed like a very serious guy that's ready to blow, right? He was like, he had loads of beats, one. Secondly, if you want to use this one is £30, this one is £50. If you don't have it, it's £150, this one. I was like, whoa, I like this person. This is someone that values his art. He has something, right? So I had to go and clear a license for the beat. Then after doing that, I was like, I'm ready to, okay, I had that sound. Then I sat down. I wrote it in 2 days. I wrote the song in 2 days. The first day, from that melody from the back of my head, I already had stranger, stranger. Then I had all those verse bounce. Na, 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 na. Because like I told you, I'll be holding on to it. So I had all recorded. So I just had to put words into it. And I had to describe, yes, I'm a stranger, but I'm strong. Don't cross me. Don't do this. Don't do that. So when I first recorded it on my phone as a song, I would listen to it on my way to work and it would empower me. So when I got to the studio, the producer was like, what is this? This is a very mad sound. This sound is different, man. He said a lot of things and then we recorded it. The first take, it was trying to tune the system and all of that to my voice. And then after that, we recorded like many takes. We were listening, and then I was like, let's listen to the first take because I know myself. Sometimes the first take is the best take. And then we just listened to the first take, and the first take was the best take. And it was like, then let's just settle for this. Then we now went into that backup thing I told you that's difficult for me, but he's so good at that. Shout out to Ori. You're really good. He's a very, very good sound engineer. And then we did that. After that, it proceeded to mixing and mastering. But with the mixing, the producer removed all the breath in it. Then I told him to put it back because I wanted a real feeling, because it's a one take, right? It's one take, and if you remove the breath, it sounds like we joined it. But when a professional listens, they'll be like, okay, it's a straight take because you can hear where she's taking a breather and where she continues. So that was it for Stranger.
So now we also talked about like the rollout that you're in process, like in the middle of the process of doing right now. So can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Yes, I think for artists now, especially independent artists, before you put your single out, you should have at least content to cover 30 days. It sounds very difficult for me that because I know that I would not be able to create 30 days worth of content. So I had to go to AI so that I'll be able to create something to put out every day, because in reality, you know that the most of the songs you hear, it's not like you hear them the first time and you like them. The media has to force those songs on you, and then when you listen and listen and listen, then you fall in love with the song, or the song keeps ringing in your head or something like that. So for an independent artist, if you want to do that, if you want to have that same effect, you have to keep being in people's faces. And apart from that, algorithm these days is not really helpful. So you have to just keep throwing. It's like you're in front of something and then you're throwing different directions, and then maybe something would work for you. So I'm using AI. I'm using in video AI. So I just generate prompts. I give it what I want it to create. So what I've been doing is I've been creating everything around the concept of stranger, maybe a stranger being kind to someone, something strange, or stranger, 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 just to keep the flow for 30 days. So now, after maybe by the 20th day, I'll look at the particular content that people like the most. Then I'll start promotions on that particular content. I'll post it afresh and then do a lot of ads on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So that's just what I'm doing. And AI has been really helpful. It's a very powerful tool. I know a lot of people are like, you don't want to use it, but can you actually? For me, I work, so I'm busy. So I can't go on the street every day and be doing like this or getting someone to shoot me all the time. No. So that was why I had to use AI to, just fill in the space and all of that.
Okay. So where did the inspiration for even not just the AI, but the 30-day portion of things, where did that come from?
It came from research. Yeah, what to do as an independent artist, how you could push yourself, what you should do. But then I came about a content, and the person was saying that this is what labels do. And if I the other day I was checking Rema's page, and then I saw they just create some short form content, right? Because visual content will move, but then I think Instagram is shorter, TikTok longer, real life and stuff like that. So and then the instructor was saying that, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to put yourself out there. If you have 10,000 followers, you have to make sure you keep them, engaged. Just make sure you keep them engaged. Then before you know it, your algorithm too will wake up, and then you're able to do something. And for me, I've gained a lot of followers here in Birmingham because I go out to perform. The first day I performed Stranger, I had not dropped it. I came back home. That was the first time I was scrolling. I was saying follow, follow, follow back, follow back, follow back. I was like, wow, what's happening here? So those people are watching. And if I just drop a content, some of them are probably at work this day or not available this, then how do they see it tomorrow? And then I also want to encourage artists not to feel bad because it so happened to me, like something happened to me, right? I posted a content that had 10 likes, and one person out of the 10 people is someone so important that has been getting me shows, paid shows. Sometimes you get 10 comments, like one comment, and then you're feeling bad. But 10 likes, but one person amongst those 10 people is as important as 100 people to me right now. So that's why I don't feel anything if I don't have an engagement. I'm just like, well, two people saw it. That's two more people, to stream my music. So I don't mind.
Okay. So you that last comment kind of gave us the next part that I wanted to get into, and it's like the performance aspect of things. First of all, like, is that how does that rank in your on your favorite things to do as an artist? Is it towards the top? Is it one of your least favorite things? How do you feel about performing, first of all?
Honestly, I would say it's the best thing for me. It's one I love creating the music, but then selling it to the people is something I'm very, very good at because
Okay.
for one, I'm very confident, I'm charismatic, I'm not scared of anybody. So when I go on stage, it's not something I'm scared of. It's something I'm like every time I'm waiting for three artists to perform, I'm like a dog on a leash. I'm like, set me free, let me go. That's how I feel. So it's
Okay.
something I love to do. And then another thing is performing the song. For me, why I feel it's so good is I know how to make people laugh when I'm performing. So if you watch some of the clips of my performances, you hear people laughing. I know how to make people laugh. So and in the process, it makes me feel good too. It's like my performance is like comedy plus performance and dance. So it's a little bit of everything. And it has helped me. There was a performance I went to, my first performance in Birmingham. I got there and they were like, hey, you, so where are you from? I said, I'm a Nigerian. And then I was like, but I won't scam you. Everybody started laughing. I was like, all of you are getting scammed. You are getting scammed. You are getting that. They were laughing. And then people would come to me and like, man, you're so funny. I'm like, yeah. Then I just love performances because after, when I get home, I have this burst of energy. And that is how I know that someday I am going to be a star because I'm
Okay.
built for it. Yeah, definitely watch out for me because I could perform in three shows. If I perform in a show, it's like my energy becomes bigger. Then I perform into, it's supposed to be you've performed, you get tired, then you get tired, you get tired. For me, it increases by the number of performances I have. So most days I perform, I'm not able to sleep till morning because the energy is like something like a warm up, and I'm on a kickstart. I'm ready to, so I can't sleep. I have to keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling on the bed. Then eventually I'm just like, I just get up and play some beats or, listen to music. So that's performance is my thing. I'm a machine, you know? Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever had a performance where it didn't go so well, whether the crowd just wasn't into it, the location wasn't the best, you yourself weren't the best. Like, have you had an experience like that?
I've had billions of performances like that. That's how it is, man. I think that's how you build confidence. For me, the third performance I performed in Ilorin when I got signed, they took me to a place called Akodudu. It's like inside Ilorin. So when I just grabbed the mic and then I said, Yo, Malina, blah, 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 blah," and then someone just threw something, so Yoruba, like speak Yoruba, we cannot say this one. Everybody will say, "Hey, blah, 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 blah." Omo, I ran from the stage. Those people grabbed me, they took me back. They said, command them. Are you okay? I said, I was so scared. I go home, I was crying. In Lagos, I performed somewhere once in Lagos where I had an issue with the DJ and it was playing shut up in my song, shut up, shut up. So yeah, and people consider me rude because sometimes when I have the mic and then you're trying to mess with my sound, I'll tell you, DJ, how far? What's up, DJ? And DJs, they don't like that kind of thing. Like, who are you? Who are you to tell me that? So, but then I think anytime I have a bad performance, God has a way of showing me that. Like the DJ that was playing Shut Up in my song, for instance, that DJ, after I did that night, because I stopped and I told him, he told me before going on stage that this is the way you wear, if you wear it for your house, which means this what you're wearing right now, can you wear it in your house? And I wasn't dressing badly. If you check my page, I'm not the nude kind of girl, right? So I told him, I replied him, I said, if I be Nicki Minaj, you could talk that kind of thing. I told him that if I was Nicki Minaj, would you say that? So that was why I was playing Shut Up in my song. So people came to tell him, we like this girl's song. Levi was like, they should tell me to go. He closed his laptop and stuff. After a week, no, after a month, I was somewhere where this man that has this big place saw me perform and he was practically in love with my music and me and was like, okay, I want you to handle every Thursday. Just sit down. There's a guy coming. He's a DJ. If you like him, you vibe together. Lo and behold, it was that same guy that came. And I know you. He said, no, 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 I don't know. I said, I know you. You were the one that played Shut Up in my song. The man said, don't tell me stay there. I said, it stay there. The man said, how can you do that? Why won't you people encourage women? Don't do that to her. Don't do this. The guy was like, see, you know what you do that day? He said, okay, he's here to see the manager. The person said, okay, she's the manager. Talk to her. Then he felt embarrassed and he eventually left. He did not get the job, but it wasn't like I said, don't give him the job. So I have loads of performances that were bad, but then it has gotten to the stage where I can't say I can't have a bad performance, but I can come to your face and make you listen. I'm not afraid of you. So if I have to harass you, if I have to attack you, you will listen to me. It has gotten to that point.
Like I've been saying about this Women in Afrobeat series, we're not just spotlighting the incredible talent of the women, but we also want to take a moment to address, even if it's about exposure, to some of the issues that women have faced, specifically in Afrobeats or in music in general, however you want to put it. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you, maybe it's been your experience, maybe it's been something you've observed, but in your words, like what are some of the challenges that women have faced?
I think it has to do, I think women face a lot in history. So it's not just about Afrobeat. I think it's the way the world is. And it still all boils down to DNA, right? The world wants to be alive. And women will reproduce, right? With men, which is very important to the world not to die. So I think everything roots from that place. Even though the world is changing and people are recognizing that this is that, it is where it roots from. Because if you check history, you will see that because women have to conceive and keep giving birth to children, it's hard for people to reconcile or just accept that they can do anything else, right? So that is why, for instance, you could perform on stage as a woman and you're doing so great. And a lot of people in the crowd, including other women, will look at you and be like, look at you for the value of what you can give in terms of marriage and reproduction rather than um, talent or career or ambition or I think that is what it is, because at this point I don't want to say men are this or that. I think it's a whole thing. Now it's now up to you as a woman to know exactly what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to do, how much you want to be an artist, because there are people that people invest billions on and then they just eventually want to take off with a man, right? What would you say about that? It's not like they didn't get the platform, but their being or whatever they wanted was what won in that case. So for a woman in Afrobeats, I think for me, I've had loads of experiences. The last experience I had was even someone that met me at a show, saw me do well, said, I have a studio. I offered to pay. He said, no, don't pay me. I think about the long term goal. And I was like, okay. And then the next minute, he got all touchy, touchy on me. And then I was like, bro, okay, let me pay. Oh. He was like, no, he did not want the money. And that was the first person I was supposed to record Jane, Stranger Wait. He did not want the money. It was just all about. So it was difficult for him to look beyond sex. You know, it was difficult for him to look beyond. What a woman. I don't know. I don't know how to express it. Like it was difficult for him to see me as, oh, this girl is an investment. Or this girl is supposed to be. This girl is someone I can work with. If he was trying to get an album out of me, he would be a smarter guy. Than trying to, because you can actually sleep with many people, but you can leave Ladymakavelli because you know that this girl, she has something to offer, and then harness that, but people never see you for that. They see you as a lady, you're soft, you have boobs, you're soft. That's just it. Let's just touch you. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I'm going to be very sincere with you because I've experienced a lot when it comes to things like that. Because for one, I look small, I look fragile. So when people see me, they're like, oh, this small girl that I could groom, come. They just want like, come here, you, hey, you come here. So I've experienced things like that. But then what I would advise women to do if you want to do music, the first thing I will tell you is make sure that you can afford the things you need. And people will say it's easier for you to say, Ladymakavelli, it's easier for you to say you stay in the UK and you're making some money and all of that. No, but that's not it. That's not what I'm trying to say. Yes, it is easier for me to say now, but go to Eleko Beach and ask of OG. I am OG. Go to Elegushi Beach, ask of African woman. I am African woman. Go to Snake Island, ask of Ajoke. I am Ajoke, where I have been hawking beach arts, hawking swimwears for people to use so that I can get money. Those are the things I was doing in Lagos, right? So you have to have that. If you are saying you don't want people to treat you like a lesser person or treat you for your body or treat you for your this, you really, really need to tie your wrapper hard so that you can afford those things, because without being able to afford it, it's going to slow you down. Because when I could not afford anything, almost every door I tried to knock was about, you a woman. I would even say people respect people that do people that are prostitutes, let me use that word, more than female artists, because when you meet a prostitute, you do a form of negotiation. But for female artists, your body is like an icing on the cake. It's like
Oh,
it should be part of the deal. You're paying a guy to record you. You're giving a producer 50% royalties, and it still feels like you should put your body on top of that. It's that deep. You're paying for the studio session, but that studio session, the guy has it at the back of his mind that thank God it's a woman that's coming tonight. There's some action. Do you understand? Meanwhile, if a guy pays him, it's like we have 1 hour to do this. You pay the money and your body is supposed to be. That's why I say they treat prostitutes better, because they feel, I think people feel like if you're a female artist, you're desperate. They feel like you don't only do it like, I want to become somebody that will change people's lives. They think you're doing it so that you can be with more men, you can be with more guys and get high and be the pick me girl. They don't see it like, for me, I'm the first official musician in my generation since the beginning of time. So there's a lot at stake for someone like me. But how do I explain it to a producer that feels like I'm doing it for him to pick me? How do I explain it to someone I've paid and then still feels like, hey, man, you've paid me for this, but man, your body is still supposed to. And then they give you attitude. They give you serious attitude on top of your money. So what I do is when I go to the studio, I don't have that discussion, but I'm not often friendly with people I work with. It has gotten to that point for me. I don't really, really need your input that much, except the last guy I worked with. Because when I got to his studio, he's a family guy. He had his wife and his kids in the house. I said, this is nice. Good, he knows what he's doing. But normally when I go to the studio, I already have everything I want to put in my song, the backup, the everything. So all you have to do is just operate the system. I'm not trying to be friendly with you. Because when you do that, then it turns to men, it's not easy for female artists, I will tell you the truth. But you have to work. Now, if I go to this studio and you are giving me problem, I'll go to another studio. If you are giving me problem, I'll go. In fact, I change it for people. I'll tell them I'll change it for you. Like you'll be like, hey, I'm sorry, I did that. Yes, you should be sorry. Then I'll go because you can't escape it. I'm very sure that you have a lot of people that have been to these episodes and they might not tell you how deep it is, but it's actually quite deep. But the only solution for anybody is get something doing that can support your music and don't compromise. Because when I was in school, I was performing in Ilorin because then I had gotten signed all this period. Then I went into school and then I was number one artist in the school. So I was exposed to a lot of things. Like there were producers that had me come to the studio and let me know that I had to do this because this female artist is doing this female artist is doing it, with receipts to show me why I should do it. But today, those female artists don't even sing anymore. They don't have a single, they don't have a page, and they're nowhere to be found. So I don't know, maybe if you meet someone that could change your life like that, you would decide to make that decision for yourself. But then if you feel like what you have to do as a woman in Afrobeat is to compromise every step of the way, then ah, before you reach the Lambo, you go collect Lamba. before, because if you get to the producer, you get to the producer, then the mixing, then the mastering, then the this. How many people do you want to go through? So you have to work. You have to put, and then a lot of people will lie to you and tell you this and that. But at the end of the day, it's just grace. If you work, you can just do a video with your small Android phone in your house and then it just goes viral. It's not anybody that will give you that fame you need. It's God that gives that. So just, try to, level yourself, respect yourself, but work. Go get your money. Because if you don't get your money, I always tell some female artists that I know, I'll be like, if someone were to do all the things I've done for myself, from Alter Ego to Ladymakavelli, the EP to now, they would probably own my soul. They'll probably own everything about me. They probably tell me sit and I will not be able to say no to that. But because I was on the beach in the sun, getting black, wearing beach hat, telling people, please come and rent this. They say, Madam, wait, wait, this girl, leave us. I'll be like, I'm back. Come on, don't be like that. Buy this thing now. That was what I was doing in Lagos. That was what I was doing in Lagos. And I did it for like 2 to 3 years before I came here to the UK. So, but I was able to record my albums, do this. The producers tried for me. It's not like they charged me overly, but I had to give them something. Hold this, even though you believe in me, hold this, thank you, do this for me. So and that was how I, was able to do music and move on, talk of shows. There was a day I performed. I was coming off stage. This person I'm talking about is a very popular comedian, a big man, an old man. I was coming from stage. I was coming off stage, and then he kissed me on the mouth, like French kissing. He held my head in place and French kissed me, like it didn't let me go. Do you understand? Can you imagine that? Someone I respected so much was just it took me to the show to perform. So after performing, I did Dangerous. I was doing all those, you know, I was just I was coming off the stage. He just pulled me into somewhere and kissed me on the mouth and kept my head there for close to 1 minute, and I was struggling. I was struggling. That's assault. I could go to jail for that. But that happened to me. And then I remember going back home because I paid my transport to that place. I brought all my friends to that place. I did everything in that show. It's not like he paid me, but he still felt the need to do that to me. On my way home in the bus, I was like, do I really want to do music or should I just quit? Do you know how many people call you for shows, give you your hotel room, but in the middle of the night, they will come knocking. They will come knocking at your door and saying, open the door now. Why are you doing like this now? Something now. You know? Or someone you could just go to a show. I've been to a show where someone just dragged my hand and made me sit on his lap and I had to stand up like, bro, why are you doing like that? So but now you couldn't do that to me. I'll use pounds to slap your face.
Man, I don't even know what to say to that, but it's not just something that happens in the world of music. It's something that happens to women in every aspect of life. But like we are honing in on the struggles faced in music, and yeah, there was a lot there. How do you feel about the way like, the representation of women in Afrobeats, whether it's by the women perform like the artists themselves or how they are portrayed in music?
I think women in Afrobeats, I think we're getting recognition now compared to before. And then before I felt like you had to do some kind of maybe open your body, be nude and all of that. But people like Tebs are proving that wrong because she came into the spotlight without having to do all of that. So I think basically the representation of women in Afrobeats now, apart from a few people that are doing what they want, there are like inclusion criteria for your music. I think there's like this inclusion criteria for your music. You have to have like some form of lamba, which is like the Nigerian slangs, or wherever country you're from, you have to have some kind of slang, especially let's just say Nigeria, because Afrobeat originated from Nigeria, right? So you have to have some kind of lamba. You have to sing about a guy, like the love kind of guy music, at least 80% of the time, and then you have to have this kind of sassy video attitude too, not like just sit down and sing like people like Adele would do. Up until Thames came by, and then I'm seeing that that can be possible. But I feel like there's a future for um, women in Afrobeat in terms of representation. It's just that there are too many gatekeepers. We would have more female artists if not for that.
So you specifically, how do you see yourself moving the genre forward?
Thank you so much for that. Personally, what I would like to do is I have a time frame where I want to sing for a period of time. Let's say I'm in the limelight today, sing for 10 years, and then um, retire and start a proper music company that only deals with women. Yes, I've said it in several interviews because I feel like you have to have a purpose. I have a dream to be big, but that dream I can't just have it because I want to drive nice cars. This is like it's like a hoax. It's like something I have to, I put it out in the universe. Give me this, I'm going to do this, and I must do this because if I don't do this, I will come down. So it is like that. So I want to have a platform where I promote women that need music, that need people to promote them, but not the record label, not someone taking 70% of your money, but someone pushing you out there. I want the artist to be hotter than I am. So that is what I would like to do. In Okay, for instance, let me put this way. Every year, but that label is going to no, I said like that company is going to favor women that are 27 to like 35 mostly, because I want to sign people that are older, people that feel like they don't have any hope anymore. So I'm not going to be looking for artists that are 16, 17 for the sake of no, just people that have tried their whole life to get to this point and they need it. So when they have their shine, they can have like generational wealth to help their family do other things. When okay, you are too old now, fine, you're gone, but you had the chance in the spotlight. So I could do like some competitions, get people together, make them write music, do that. Maybe low key, not like on televised thing, and then get an artist, put the artist out, and then talk. Because now I'm taking courses on that. I'm taking courses on how to be a music executive, how to do this, because that's the long term goal. People think I want to blow, and I want to blow so I can have so much money to have like I have a lot of ideas as a music executive right now to promote. If I had the platform, let's say maybe that all these big labels have for their artists right now, I have ideas that if I sit down with Don Jazzy and I tell him, he's going to just transform into hundreds of millions like that. And it's right in everybody's faces. It's in everybody. We can see it, but we can't see it, right? So I just hope that people don't do those things before I get there. So, but yeah, definitely people benefit from. So that's my long term goal, to have a company that would help older women in music. Not like by older, I mean from 25 to 35.
But if it's not a record label, so then how would it fit into like the music machine of like getting music out there?
Yes, it's going to be more of like an investment company,
Okay.
because I look at myself, I say, what do I need? Right now, if I had people to invest in me, see it more like an investment. You tell the stake you're willing to give. It's not like this is what you are signing you have to do this. You have your music, you're creating it. What do you need? This is what you need. This is what we're willing to give. But then it's not going to be the stringent, we're taking 70% or giving you a 360 deal. And I hope God will bless me enough to even let some people go, even if they don't meet up with their contracts. Just, you've done it. Okay, this is what you can come back with. It's fine. Bring it and go. Continue doing your thing. So building like a network, just being able to put more women. Because if you look at the ratio right now, men to women in music, it's just pathetic. But no, you don't have to go through these gatekeepers. I will do that for you. I can do
Mm.
it because they know me. So they open the door to me. So if they don't, you don't need to go knock yourself. I want to be able to do that for other women.
What's one moment in your career that you almost had to pinch yourself, like it was like a dream, like a situation where you'll never be able to forget it?
Honestly, I would say yesterday, because I know that, people will be like, maybe a time you performed. But I've done it. I've performed in stadiums. I've done all of that. But yesterday, I think something just took over me, like a sense of gratitude for where I am at right now in life. Because before, I was staying on the beach, literally on the beach, on the plain beach, selling to people and stuff. And then over a period of 1 year, everything just switched. I just finished my masters with a distinction. Um, just imagine. I finished my masters with a distinction. I have a job that's so lucrative that I get calls every 2 minutes almost, like, because I do British Sign Language and Makaton. Just imagine someone that was sitting on the beach art and stuff like that, and then I'm here today, and then my phone is ringing. Please, hello, trying to be nice to me, and then I have a song out, and then I got booked for a show to perform in Legacy. Yesterday, everything just came to my head, and I broke down. I was crying. And I was like, God, how did I, what have you done to me? You know, so this point in my career, I think is the best because I can work to afford what I need to put into my music, unlike before. So I could say it's a particular performance, but performances will come and go. But being able to realize that your life has changed, being able to feel good and be, thank the universe, thank God, everything is aligning for me. Every day I wake up, I can eat, I can sleep, I can drink, and. So and then I looked at myself, so I'm not sick. There are people that are sick, and then everything just came. I cried. I had to go into the shower, and I was there for like 2 hours, just soaking it all in. So yesterday was the the peak of my career.
It was almost like gratitude in just embracing the moment, understanding how far you've gone, realizing, is this me? And yeah,
This is me. So I felt very good about that. And then when you say career, because I now I'm getting booked for shows in Birmingham, right? Before I did okay, if you say the biggest shows I've done, it was in Lagos because I went on tour with Lagos State for some kind of stadium, Agege Stadium, this stadium, that stadium. So, but when it comes to being performing and getting booked for to get paid for, or performing to you do your rehearsals, you do that. It's happening here now recently. So that's why I said my career now I can record good sounding songs with good mix and put it out there. I can afford this AI, this thing. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful in general.
okay. No, that's great to hear, and it's part of what we're even trying to highlight here on our Women in Afrobeat series. So, like, I appreciate you being so open and vulnerable with us, sharing your experiences, good, bad, ugly, and also like your plans for the future in regards to the company you're looking to start when the opportunity arises. So now, musically, what's next for Lady Machiavelli?
Thank you. I'm dropping an EP called The Lone Ranger.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the title. Stranger is just one of the songs on it. I've recorded two more songs. That's Selena Tested and Escape. So I'm thinking I want to record two more songs and probably pick one or put the two because my mind is telling me to do 5 songs. But my little sister, who happens to be the A&R, feels I should do 3 songs.
Okay.
So I'm just contemplating that. So if I record two more songs, then we can select the best three. Or if the 5 songs are good to go, then I'll put the 5 songs in the Lone Ranger EP. Then promote it myself. I plan to use, all these platforms, Tunde Notes, Gossip Mill, whatever I need to throw out there to just push that particular EP. But then I would need to create very solid content of myself, maybe with an orchestra or a band so that I could give to them to promote. It's not just me just sitting down in my room singing kind of content. So I'm looking forward to that. So I wrote a song last night. If it sits well, I don't know yet. But I have 3 of the songs. So I need to record 2 more songs.
Okay. And when do you plan on releasing this EP?
I plan on releasing it mid this year or
Okay.
by or let's say like August, September, maybe.
So we're going to go through our rapid fire questions. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, uh, just so that the audience can get a better understanding of you as a person and as an artist. So you ready? First one, if you weren't making music, what would you be doing?
I would be teaching children
Any particular subject?
because it's what I do now, special educational needs students. I teach
Oh,
them. So I am very passionate about it.
one instrument you wish you could play.
Piano.
What is your superpower as an artist?
I would say performances and also being a channel, like I told you earlier, being a channel, the possession of music, music possession. That's what I would call it.
What is your current most played Afrobeat song?
That I by me or
No, no,
by
by another artist.
I would say Common Person by Burna Boy.
Oh, okay. All right. Your go-to outfit for a music video shoot.
Or not like animal fall, but anything furry and burgundy leather, and
Mhm.
fall. Yeah.
Okay. What's the first thing you do after a performance?
I drink water and then I feel the urge to leave.
What's your dream venue to perform at?
Madison Square.
Okay. Dream artist to collaborate with.
That's deep. I have so many people running through my head.
Can only be one though.
Lauren Hill.
Okay. All right. And the final one, where do you see yourself and your music in the next 5 years?
I'll be the biggest artist. That's the biggest artist. The I'll be I'll be a mega super. I'm talking about mega, mega, mega. Combine Beyonce, Rihanna, everybody together. In the next 5 years, Ladymakavelli will be that person.
And don't forget us here at the Well Actually podcast.
No, no.
We're coming to the end now. So, Lady Machiavelli, where can people find you if they want to keep up with you on the day to day, whether it's the 30 days of content or finding the most up to date information about your releases? Where can they find you, whether it's on social media or anywhere else?
Social media, Lady Machiavelli official, Machiavelli official, Instagram, TikTok, to X, everywhere, Lady Machiavelli official. But the spelling of the Lady Machiavelli, Lady Maca, Maka Velli, Velli, Lady Machiavelli official, everywhere, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere, Lady Machiavelli.
Okay. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you taking the time, and you're officially welcome back anytime. Just let us know, and we can find something else, even if it's outside of this specific topic. But you're more than welcome back at any point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone listening to the Well Actually podcast. Again, don't forget rate, review, subscribe, and we'll try and do this again. Thank you.
Bye.